Everybody, Wolfie here. I'm about to show you an interview I've done with two-time AT thru hiker Subman, also known in IRL as Larry LaPierre. He is definitely a friend of mine, and I had the privilege of hiking with him last year for a good portion of the AT that I attempted. He is a wealth of knowledge. At times, I considered him my own personal AT guide because he knew so much about different sections of the trail. The unique thing about Larry is that starts at Springer and gets on trail every January 1st of the year and starts hiking north. Sometimes, he would love to make his third attempt as an AT through hike, but he gets on trail and hikes as far north as the powers that be will. Whether that's his wife needing him back at home, him just getting tired of the trail, or some other place calling him back. So without further ado, let me bring on Larry, and I apologize for the recording of my voice. It's a work in progress. As you can tell right now, it's better than it was before, and I hope to get it better. But I'd like to welcome Subman, and please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions for Subman, I'm always in touch with him, and I'm sure he'll respond to comments in the video also. Without further ado, here's my interview with Subman.
Just to disclose a little bit, Larry and I have already tried this once, but somebody forgot to hit the record button, and that would be me. So without further ado, let me introduce you my friend and former hiking partner, Subman.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
So tell me about this hike you're getting ready to go on. You're leaving tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm actually going to bed here in a few hours because I got to get up at 3 in the morning, and because my flight is at 5:30. I'm flying to Denver. A friend of mine is driving out, and he's going to pick me up. We are going to spend a week. We are going to hike the Manitou Incline, which is 2,700 steps, and it's a mile, and it goes up 2,000 feet in elevation. So think about your steepest climb on the AT, which usually is about 1,000 feet in a mile. We're going to do 2,000 feet in a mile.
And how long is the hike?
It's only a mile. So, I mean, the trail going down is 3.5 miles off the incline. But it depends on how long it takes to do that big climb. I'm thinking between an hour and a half, I would think.
Yeah. So I already know the answer, but what have you been doing to prepare?
Well, I've had an Achilles tendonitis issue on my right foot, so I haven't been doing a whole lot, but I've been going over Amicaloa State Park since I live nearby and doing the steps. And 2 days ago, I just did one loop. Here's my dog. Here's my dog Lola. I've done as many as 3 loops. That means you climb the stairs 3 times and you come around through the woods, and then, because I don't like going down the steps. So I've done them 3 times like 2 weeks ago, but that really aggravated my foot, so I held back. But that's been my preparation for Colorado.
Okay, so that hike's only going to take you a day, right? So what are you going to do the rest of your time out there?
We're going to do some little trail. My friend's there now. He actually got in yesterday. We're at a hostel for 6 days. And it's not like your typical AT hostel. It's more like a traveling hostel. So we got 6 days there. And he got there yesterday. He's scoping out the area to see things to do. And we're going to hike some little local trails, but nothing real big because of my foot. But the whole purpose is to do the incline.
Okay. So man, you've done AT twice, right? Can you?
I have.
So when was your first hike?
2003, I did it by myself. Of course, I met a lot of people out there. I had a real neat trail family that went most of the way with each other.
So you did
And
that
then
in you did that in your late 40s?
I was 47.
47.
Yeah. And then I met my wife and we were dating, and all I talked about was the AT.
That
And
happens.
she never backpacked. So she's like, "Well, would you like to do it again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've always wanted to do it again." So we started training and we did it together in 16. And then we got married up at Springer Mountain on the following March.
Yeah. So
And
go ahead.
I would say it was neat because a lot of our people that we hiked with in 16, they showed up on Springer. We didn't even know a lot of them were coming. The word got out. We had a bunch of people up there we hadn't seen from when we were on the trail, so it was really neat.
So I've already said, but you've been starting. You've been starting at Springer and hiking north on the AT on January 1st for how many years now?
About 6 years. Basically, I don't do a lot of backpacking in the summer, and then come fall, I start getting out, and then come January 1st, I want to attempt a through hike, but I've never through hiked starting January 1st. Kind of like the year we did it, which was this year, right? But one year I got all the way to Duncannon, Pennsylvania, and one year I only got to Fontana before quitting. But I go out to get in shape, lose weight, and if it works out, I keep going. But it never has, starting on the 1st.
It never has. I mean, there's a lot of obstacles that you run into on the 1st.
There is.
I mean,
There's advantages.
A blizzard this year, right?
Yeah, we had some snow. We actually had a lot of snow in December this year, if I remember. The year before, the end of the year, and we were in some snow. But I would always end up going home if it got real bad. Since I live near Springer, it makes it easier. You had to go a lot further to go home.
Yeah.
So it made it logistics harder. But I always have that advantage being nearby.
So what do you think the pros and cons are for starting on January 1st?
I think there's more pros. You don't have any bear activity. You don't have any insects, biting you, ticks, all that stuff. You don't get so hot that you have to quit at 2 in the afternoon. But then again, you can freeze your butt off.
Yeah.
You really gotta watch the weather ahead of you, especially when you go into the Smokies, as you know.
Yeah. So, see, from my opinion, is you got people starting in March 20th, right? And
right.
Especially all the new hikers, they're carrying so much cold weather stuff.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's way more than they really need. Because I don't carry that stuff, and I'm a winter backpacker. I carry a lot less. I carry some good stuff, but a lot less stuff. And I know you carry less stuff than me, so.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me all the time, what they should take. They get on Facebook and they list all their gear and they ask for recommendations. And I always tell people just to get out and take whatever you're comfortable with, and you're going to learn what you need and what you don't need. And that's the way I learn. I mean, if you tell somebody, hey, you don't need that 4-pound sleeping bag, but their comfort level, they want that sleeping bag, you're removing the psychological part where now they're worried buying a lighter one, But until they get out there and spend a few nights, they realize they don't need it. So
that's true.
The more you hike, the lighter you get. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. See, I found, and I was guilty of this a couple times, but you walk into those um, outfitters, and you're going to spend money. You're going to replace equipment as you go. So it's better, in my opinion, to spend a little extra more money up front, as long as you know it's a good piece of equipment.
It is, but a lot of people can't afford it. Like younger people or people trying to do on a shoestring budget. I mean, there's a guy out there now, Sam. He's the only hiker I've been following on YouTube. Wander with Sam. He's using all Walmart's. 90% of his stuff's Walmart stuff.
Yeah.
But he started January 1st this year. He was hiker number 6. And he is in the 100-mile wilderness now getting ready to finish. So think about how long he's been out there. He's a good example of someone who doesn't have the money but is very frugal, but takes his time and doesn't do big miles. He only does like 8 to 13-mile days. He's been loving it. He's having a great time.
When we signed up,
he was in the lodge. We started early. And he started later in the day. He slept in because that's how he hikes too. He sleeps until like 10, 11 in the morning, and then he gets going. And he does 10-mile days,
Yeah.
But he's loving it. He's had a great time. But he's been out there all year.
And your intention is to start again this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's same as mine, God willing. And there's some other people that Prepper, which he doesn't have a YouTube presence. Right?
No, he did have one in 23, but I don't know if he's going to do one this year. But
and then he told me 0.7. She doesn't have a YouTube channel of her own, but she was on somebody else's.
She thru hiked, I think the year before. I think in 22.
Was it 22 or?
I don't remember. Her and Bartman did it. In fact, I drove them up to Springer, and I think that was the year before Prepper. Maybe, I don't remember. I lose track, and I'm getting old. So one thing I would like to say first, though, is that God allowed me to do this 2 times. And if it wasn't for the Lord, I would not be doing it. And if I'm lucky enough for Him to allow it again, I will go do it again. But if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't even be here. So I give Him all the glory and all the thanks. So
yeah, and it's, to be honest with you, if you got somebody out there with a similar pace that you're hiking with, it makes it a lot easier to stay motivated.
It does. It helps to have someone to hike with, But you got to get along with that person too. I mean, I don't think anybody is exactly like you, obviously, in your hiking ability and your communication skills, whatever. The only one I truly was totally comfortable with hiking the whole trail with was my wife. I mean, we had a great hike, and we got along great. I never had a fight. I mean, if we weren't even married yet, so that was a good test. So if you can live with somebody and hike the whole trail, you're meant to be with each other forever. So.
Yeah.
But we did good on and off. But you and I skipped around a lot too. We kind of joined each other at different places. We didn't hike every day together.
No.
I mean, we went through the Smokies.
Yeah.
And it's good to have somebody through there.
And in most days, I wouldn't see you maybe in the morning and in the evening. I mean.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, starting on January 1st, is you're so far outside the bubble that
that's an advantage.
Yeah. In my opinion. And I think once you go to those early hostels too, they're just so glad to see you.
Yeah, if they're open. Yeah.
If they're open. Yeah. And where later on in the season, they still glad to see you, but they're just swamped with people day after day.
I think that, someone that they know has a YouTube too, they kind of want you to get the word out on them.
Yeah, that's true.
So they treat you pretty good. So they want to get a good review out of you because they know people are following you behind you.
Well,
so.
Yeah, I didn't know. this is my first time. I just decided to give it a shot. So I wasn't expecting that kind of treatment.
Right.
And I'm pretty
I
happy
couldn't.
go lucky anyway. So
Yeah, I couldn't do the YouTube thing. I don't have the patience. I really don't for it. But I just want to get out and hike. I don't want to take the time to film things and edit things. But you can look back on it, when you're old and gray, and you can watch your videos, and that's pretty cool.
So we've discussed it, but for everybody that might be watching, talk about being up in our age and taking a head dive on the trail and what it's back and getting back on the trail after.
It's hard. I mean, when you get older, you're working against the curve, and things in your body are starting to go, but you love to be out there and you want to keep doing what you do when you were younger. So you got to make more concessions over different things. You got to slow down. You and I like to start early in the morning, which kind of gives us an advantage on the younger people that sleep in and end up passing us later in the day. But we always end up going the same distance or camping at the same time.
Yeah. So you are just. If you didn't have the trail name Subman, it should be Mountain Goat. Because when you go down those hills, you hop from rock to rock to rock.
Yeah, downhill's always been my strong suit.
Until you...
until I fall down.
Yeah, fall down. Yeah.
Which happened.
Yeah. So what gap was it again?
We were going down to Unicoi Gap.
Yeah, so... I was the first going down to the gap, and Subman caught up to me, and he was, like I said, flying down the hill, and it was rocky, hopping from rock to rock, and I was going slow, taking my time. So, to make a long story short, I hear this person yell way down the trail, "I'm down!" And sure enough, he was down over the side of the hill quite a bit, and I had to lay down just to pull you up.
Yeah, I had to take my pack off and push that up. You grabbed that, and then you gave me a hand up, and I hurt myself. I hurt my left hip. And thankfully, we were going down to get picked up by Green Dragon Hostel, and I ended up going home, and I was off trail for probably at least 10 days, 12 days. I ended up going to the doctor, and he said I broke some sort of a blood sac in my hip. And I had pain from that for quite a while, but I got back out there.
Yeah, I continued on to Franklin. When the big East Coast blizzard hit this past year.
You were out in a lot more of that than I avoided that by going home.
Yeah. I think the lowest I was 7 degrees.
Yeah, I wasn't out that. I've never been out in that cold.
Yeah.
I think the coldest it's ever been overnight for me is like upper teens. Of all the hiking I've done, because if I see it's going to get that way, I'm on the phone with my wife. Come get me, honey, and she'll bail me out. So especially if it's south of Fontana. Once we get north of the Smokies, it's a little harder for her to come get me.
So what are you looking forward to this year?
I just want to be in the woods, man. I have no expectations. I mean, Prepper is a good friend of mine, so we're going to plan on hiking together. But kind of the way you and I hiked. I mean, we're not going to go step by step. But he had 2 knee replacements and 2 hip replacements since his through hike attempt. So we're both going to be doing, if we could do 10-mile days, 8 to 10s for the first week or 2, we'll be totally happy.
Yeah, so that would put you, to the NOC in about 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people to try to get to Fontana before February, because on all my years starting on the 1st, except for this year was kind of weird, but all the other years, the weather didn't really get bad until February. So if you can get through the park by the beginning of February, I think you're home free. And you have plenty of time to get up there in a month. I mean, you can get up there in
Yeah.
3 weeks, but if you do 10-mile days.
Yeah, because what 200 miles is clean and done, right? Or
Yeah, and then if
fall
you
now.
you take a few zeros here and there with the weather, you should. I mean, doing it to get up to Fontana by the end of January is pretty conservative.
Yeah, I
That's
think so too.
that's like a little goal I've always had, starting January 1st.
Yeah. I think my goal is to be entering the Smokies within 14 days. But
Well, you're
me.
quicker. You got to watch that though, because you have things pop up too with your IT band and your knees, and
Yeah.
if you go out too far, if you go out too hard in the beginning, things pop up. So.
I'll say right now, it's going to happen to me.
But you've been out there hiking more,
Yeah.
a lot more than I have, so that gives you an advantage. So.
Yeah. So next year, around the second week of September, I want to invite you to come up and do this hike with me.
Yeah, I would definitely consider that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But
Yeah, it sounds like it. But I need to be in real good shape if I'm going to do those kind of miles in 3 days. That's for sure.
It's a slack pack. I think you can do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I would definitely have to slack back, which I don't do on the AT.
Yeah.
But for something like that, I would definitely, to do those kind of miles, you'd have to.
So, is there any other piece of advice that you would give to any hiker that's considering starting in January 1st, early January?
I always tell people, it's not about the miles, it's about the smiles. You need to enjoy being out there. I run into so many people who aren't enjoying themselves, and I'm like, well, why are you even here? And they're like, well, because I got to get it done. If you don't like being in the woods, sleeping in the woods, and if you're not having a good time, go home. You don't need to be there. That's my advice.
I agree.
If it's just a hurdle to get over, like doing a marathon, running 26 miles, it's a one-day thing. But you're talking about 5-6 months on a through hike, So if you're a month in and you're not having fun, you still got another 4 or 5 months to go.
Yeah.
So why are you there?
Well, and you got to give those people that are out there credit, right? And I don't think there's no shame in going out, trying it, doing your best, and then figuring out that an AT through hike isn't for you.
Oh, no shame at all.
Yeah. But I guarantee you're going to be addicted to hiking after that.
Yeah, you are. And you'll probably end up trying it again, because so many people do multiple attempts and they get a little further and further, and eventually they do it. And then there's the one person who's overweight and that you would never think can do it, and they go all the way. So it's crazy.
I was just at a retreat for the Allegheny Trail. And as we were sitting there talking about the future of the trail and everything, a guy popped up on Facebook who did his picture at the trailhead, right? And he was carrying a 51-pound pack with 9 days worth of food and 3 liters of water.
I think I saw that because I joined that Facebook group. You invited me to join it, and I joined it.
But he did 27 miles the first day and 24 the next. So it's like, kudos to him. I was completely amazed.
Some people can do that.
Yeah, he was carrying a full-size golf umbrella.
Right.
Yeah, so wow.
That's crazy.
I'm going to interview him. He said once he finishes, he'll sit down and do an interview with me. So
I told Prepper you may interview him too, and I think he friended you.
Yeah. Well,
he would be a good one for all he went through in 23 with the he had some major issues. So
Yeah, I would like to get .7 too, because
right.
yeah. So we'll see. But anyway, Subman, thanks for joining me again. Sorry to make you do
All right.
this
No,
twice.
no problem, man. It's always good to see you. So.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you later, my friend.
All right, we'll get
Yeah.
together. Take
All
care.
right, bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
So, thanks to Subman for joining me. And this is Wolfie. Please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment.
I didn't mean to hang up on you.
That's okay. I promise these videos will get better. So, with that being said, TTFN, ta-ta for now.